At the moment, it is still just over a minute and a quarter to the leader.
This is Laurent and Jens Voigt. The engine room has shut down on these two riders. They're about 15 to 20 seconds behind the lone leader, but you can see the difference in the speed. The man at the front, Jose Luis Arrieta, was a lot more concentrated on keeping himself high up there in his output of wattage. He's trying to keep himself right up, right on the edge of the position where he's producing massive amounts of lactic acid. But for him, he's just trying to survive for the next 20 minutes or so.
Well, 1 minute 25 between the leader and the debris in between and the main chase group. It is still possible, but I can't see them getting over the Kauberg without catching him.
I'll tell you what, the Kauberg is around about 1.5 kilometers long, and he could see himself losing 30 to 40 seconds on the main field, because they are going to charge up the Kauberg. It's an unbelievable climb. It's made a lot more difficult by the fact that the riders will have done 216 kilometers by the time they get there. But fingers crossed. Sometimes you want the man in the breakaway to succeed, and they've been away, these riders, since very early on in the race. Built a maximum lead up of 6 minutes and 10 seconds at one stage, and now as the race gets into its final phase, they're slowly but surely eating into his advantage.
Well, Arrieta has ridden 6 tours before he came to this one. He's only ever given up in one. He abandoned on stage 15, which would have been a mountain stage at the time. For whatever reason, but that's the only tour he's ever given up. He's seen Paris on every occasion other than that one, and now this is his best chance to win the stage. And again, another strange result here. 10 kilometers to go. This is a Spanish rider in the early part of the tour. We never saw Spanish riders attack on these flat roads ever before.
No, but these riders now, because of the Pro Tour, are riding all over Europe all of the time. And at 10 kilometers to go, he's looking at around about 14 minutes of effort left to try and win a stage of the Tour de France. But he's been hurting himself since the very start this morning, because he's been in the lead for an awful long time.
Well, that's right.
Different team moving up to the front. The lime green jerseys of Liquigas are trying to get it organized for their man Luca Paolini. I can't see very much work being done at the front end of this pack here by the quick-step riders of Tom Boonen. These are the second and third place riders on the road. Laurent in second position there, Voigt in first position, and they are just a little bit further back down the road. I make it around about 30 seconds now. In fact, just confirmation over race radio, it's now 40 seconds over the two chasers, and the main field are in full charge behind at just inside the 1 minute mark. It's going to be dreadfully close for the lone leader, Jose Luis Arrieta, because you can see the main field now have got the bit between their teeth. They want to charge into Valkenburg, and the cavalry want to take the Kauberg one more time. 10 kilometers to go for the main field.
They love their cycling here in Holland, and Valkenburg is like a mecca to the sport. Here on top of the Kauberg Hill, the crowd have come out in force to cheer the riders home. There are 300,000 Dutch lining the road today, and that's just from the border to the finish. It's on these roads that the great one-day classic, the Amstel Gold Race, is held. There's even a black cab representing London. Not often you see one of these this far south of the river. What can you do?
Look at the crowd here. People are turning out in their hundreds of thousands on this race here through Holland. Just a slight incursion. The race left Luxembourg this morning, rode all the way across the country of Belgium, and finished its last 30 kilometers inside the country of the Netherlands. And we've got a Spaniard leading the race, and I'm sure that's not what the Dutch were expecting. Milram now starting to get it organized at the front. Number of different teams here whipping up the pacemaking. You can't see Robin McCure near the front, but you can be absolutely certain he is not too far away. Looking a bit further back, there is the Dutch national champion Michael Bogert. He knows this climb very well. He's won the Amstel Gold Race, but it didn't finish at the top of the Kauberg when he won it. It finished in the town of Maastricht, but he's finished second at the top of the Kauberg on 2 occasions.
All that remains now of today's stage of the Tour de France is to sweep up the men ahead and to get onto the crowd-lined Kauberg climb, where the riders will be deafened by the screams and the shouts, and they're shouting, of course, for a Dutch winner today. But there's a big problem, and his name is Jose Luis Arrieta.
And he's holding on to a big chunk of his advantage. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds. Jens Voigt and Laurent are just about 50 seconds behind him. But this man may well just cause the massive surprise. He's riding very well. He's riding riding very strongly, doesn't look like a broken man at all here. He's hugging the side of the road, trying to keep himself out of the wind as much as possible. He knows the course, he knows what's in store for him. He's actually got to hold back a little bit of energy, Phil, because it'll take an awful lot of energy to get his body over the Kauberg.
Well, it is a big effort required now. He can't make any more. This is your own Pino here who said, that's me for the day. Well, don't forget to go to the podium, because a polka dot jersey awaits you, Jerome. And he'll do that when he gets to the end, but that's it for the day now. He'll cruise home. He's around about 10 kilometres still to ride, but for these boys, they're picking up Christophe Laurent there. And there's Jens Voigt, left picture, so he's gone past as well. And now the pack know they're catching them, and that's going to inspire the chase. I think this man, Paul, is the only one left.
He is the only man left at the front of the bike race, and it's just been slashed from 1 minute and 20 seconds down to 1 minute and 2 seconds. Over the next few kilometers, he's going to lose huge chunks of time. What he's got to do is get himself into a zone, not think about the fact that the main field is coming back, just try and concentrate and keep the pain at a bearable level in his legs and in his mind as well.
The temperatures are so high here, and he's chosen the whole day to lead the race.
Well, he's led the race for an awful long time, and now it's just really a question of survival. It comes down to the old cat and mouse tactic. Will the teams of the sprinters get it right once again, as they always seem to do? Poor old Matthias Kessler yesterday looked like he had race one at 1 kilometre to go, and they snatched him up at 50 metres from the finish line. No mercy.
And look at the pace being put on here by Leaky Gas now, because they're hoping to deliver Luca Paolini to the line. He's a little bit more than just a sprinter, Luca Paolini. So that's why this rider here is gritting his teeth and going on. Bogart is just off our picture to the red jersey on the left there. He knows the way up the Coburg better than any man in this bunch.
Tom Bonin is over there on the right-hand side as well. He's being piloted to the front by Juan Manuel Garate. You can see him there, the rider in the blue jersey with the orange and red bands on, former champion of Spain. He's trying to keep Boonen at the front. Boonen may well cause a surprise here this afternoon. You know, Boonen, I think, wants the win, because if he gets the win, he could get himself the lead in the yellow jersey competition. And tomorrow, we start in Belgium.
Yes, and that's exactly why he wants it. So important to Tom today to take yellow tonight and to go to Huy tomorrow for the race start, which then takes us back into France, and there we will stay. But Michael Rogers also is a rider who can ride pretty well in the mountains. He's a time trial specialist. This rider, though, is just sitting there, concentrating, not looking round, just hoping.
Well, the rock is starting to appear in his shoulders there. You see the head bouncing about a fraction. I'm not surprised. He's starting to feel the fatigue creep all the way through his body, while he knows behind these men will show him no mercy at all. They will run him down, right down to the finish. But he's still holding on to 49 seconds advantage with 5 kilometers to go.
You know, Gerolsteiner are right up there as well, and that's Levi Leipheimer's team. They're also planning something here.
Well, this is Stuart O'Grady, and he seems to have been dropped off the back of the group. Now, that's a bit of a surprise for me, because Stuart O'Grady was high up in the overall classification at the start of the day in 8th place.
I've no idea. The camera just cut back to him there. He's behind, and he's going to not feature in the finish today, that's for sure. Now we're in the outskirts of Valkenburg here now, at around 4 kilometers to go. That'll be the 4-kilometer banner. So we are nearly there. We crossed the town. Look at the crowd here. Half of them haven't bothered to go up the Valkenburg, Coburg rather. We'll cross the crowd line here into this town. This is a famous holiday town here in Holland. And then we'll flick up to the climb and grit your teeth and hang on, because these boys are going to rip the race apart now.
They are going to rip the race apart at 31 seconds for Jose Luis Arrieta. He's in the town of Valkenburg. Very shortly, he's going to take a very nasty left-hand turn, and in front of him will be a wall known as the Kauberg, a very famous climb in the sport of professional cycling. Yellow jersey, Thor Hushovd, right up at the front end of the main field.
Sort of.
He has to fight to stay up there this afternoon to keep in the lead.
Here we are, Valkenburg, around the corner, just 2/10 of a kilometre, 2/10 of a mile rather, is the climb of the Kauberg. We'll make the turn, we'll hit it. Well, it's when you get to this stage, yet again, you want to get on that bike and give him a hand, because they deserve the victory, but the boys behind are chasing. Here's the sweep, take it wide, Jose Luis, and then start the climb before an enormous crowd right in the distance. Here we go up around those houses, out into the countryside, once over the climb, 2 straight kilometres to the finish.
Ouch, and it's really going to hurt. 21 seconds advantage. He's going here through a tunnel of noise as all of these people want him to succeed. They've been watching this race for about 2.5 hours live on television, and at 3 kilometers to go, they really want this man to win at the top of the Cowberg. It's only 0.8 of a kilometer long. 7.3% is the average gradient, and at the top, there's 2 kilometers to go to the finish. Pulling the cars out like that, Phil, is not a great sign.
14 seconds is the time gap we are getting. 14 seconds. The climb starts around the corner. And Jose Luis Arrieta knows why those cars are leaving him. These are desperate days now for the Spanish cyclists who really got very close. The climb has started. Here comes the first chase across. Tredi Agricola's ripped off the front of this race, the teammate of Thor Hushovd. And it wouldn't surprise me if this isn't Sebastian Hinault who's trying to reach him.
Look at the people that have turned out here in the town of Valkenburg. This is just like a World Championships crowd whenever the Tour de France comes to Holland, and it's been to Holland on 8 separate occasions previously. The crowd turn out to boot, and there is the main field. This man, Phil, sadly is not going to survive.
Well, he's on the climb, and if he can just get over the top, he's being reached here. It might be Alexander Botcharov who's made a rush at him here, the Russian rider on Tredi Agricol, but his legs have suddenly kicked in. He's coming back. Bogart is looking for the action on the nose now. This is the gap. Tom Bowden is third. They've caught him. It's all for the sprint. Tom Bowden, the world champion. A win means yellow for him. He lies third.
Oscar Freire up there in 4th as well, right on the wheel of Tom Bowden. The boogie man, they call him. Michael Bogart is all over the front, and Philippe Gilbert is right in the action as well at the front of the main field. Look at the faces of these riders for this climb. It's horrendous at the end of a long stage like this.
Matthias Kessler, the hero of yesterday, has really found some strength here as he rips up the Cowberg. But look at the strength of the rider who's just tagged on behind him there. And I wasn't too sure who. Francois Gilbert, must be Gilbert. Philippe Gilbert, he's got him. This would be a huge result for Belgium if this happens. And Bowden, the Bogart, are trying now to reach them, but they still remember it's 2 kilometers over the top. We've had a puncture down the back. What an unfortunate time to get a flat tire. And that rider, in fact,
Cassar,
is standing. Well, when you look, he's out. It is out. This boy we thought would ride well in this year's Tour de France.
He's a long way down now. He's going to lose massive chunks of time. There is the flag up at the top there. This is a great move by Kessler. He was out on the attack yesterday, felt that he was robbed, got caught at just 50 meters to go to the finish line, but they'll get themselves organized behind. Michael Bogart will bury himself to try and get himself in a situation where he can give the win to Oscar Freire, who on his own has been 3 times champion of the world. This man, though, Phil, wearing number 24, he deserves to win. He lost it for 50 meters yesterday.
Of course he does, but the race don't think like commentators do, and they'll hunt him down if they can. He gets the maximum points over the climb. Sorry about the picture breaker, but there are a few trees around. But Kessler is the man who's trying now to get what he couldn't get yesterday, robbed at 50 meters to go.
You know what? Boonen's up there in 2nd place. He's looking very strong. He's got himself over the Cowberg, but now they're getting themselves organized. Team Rabobank want to pull back this one man, Matthias Kessler. He said, I went out on the attack yesterday because I wanted to prove that T-Mobile were in the race. Well, he's inside the last kilometer. There is the kite. He might have timed it right.
Well, I think this time Matthias Kessler has timed it right. He found the strength on the day. Kessler robbed yesterday. Sometimes justice has a strange way of working, but I think this time he is going to achieve his win, and he hasn't won a race since April 2004.
They've slowed down a fraction at the front end of the main field, and that's all you need inside the last kilometer. Matthias Kessler is gritting his teeth. He's looking for the line, but he won't look back because he won't want to see the main field returning up to him. Look at his face. The power he's trying to generate is maximum. The main field are all over the road behind him, but they seem to have paused just too much.
The sprinters started at the back now. The Lamprey boys, they're shadow boxing. They've made a mistake. Kessler is going to win this now. Bernardi is opening the run here, but it's all too late. Tom Bowden, if he gets second, he might still get the lead. And Kessler has been in this deja vu situation yesterday, but not today. Matthias Kessler gets the win and deserves it. Who finishes off for 2nd place? Bowden beaten again, and it is a 1-2 because that was T-Mobile, and it was very, very likely Sinkovich or Cloden who got second place.
Well, I tell you what, there's a split in the main field. We need to see where the yellow jersey is, and I think that's him coming in now. So he's lost a little bit of time to Ushoff.
Maybe they'll split
It's going to
time,
go back
yeah.
to the count because of that. But Phil, finally, there is a little bit of justice in this sport, because Matthias Kessler deserved to win yesterday. Here's Robbie McEwen coming in as well. So the big sprinters didn't get over the climb, apart from, of course, Tom Bonen, who just was a little bit under par this afternoon.